traffic is soul-destroying. It's like acid on the soul. It's horrible. This is, I think, finally, there's something that I think could solve the goddamn traffic problem.
Elon Musk is famous for electric vehicles, reusable rockets, and satellites that can beam down high-speed internet to the most remote regions of the planet. But in 2016, Musk set his sights lower. Much lower.
Elon Musk taking to Twitter this weekend with a new plan to disrupt traffic, digging tunnels to get around congestion. In a series of 4 tweets, Musk says he wants to open the Boring Company, which he says will actually happen.
Seemingly conceived a bit haphazardly as Elon Musk presumably stewed in LA traffic, the Boring Company did actually happen and was officially launched in 2017. As with all of Musk's endeavors, it set out with a lofty goal: solve traffic by building a system of underground tunnels where cars would zoom around at speeds of over 100 miles per hour. But the vision is a long way from reality. After several scrapped plans for projects in different cities, some are beginning to question if the Boring Company can deliver. Back in May, even Musk poked fun at the Boring Company on SNL.
We could tunnel down into the earth and come up underneath them. What? They're expecting a direct attack, but if we tunnel into the earth, we could come up underneath them and surprise them.
Oh my God, there goes the genius talking about tunnels.
For a limited time, you can get up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description.
So what's the problem with tunnels? They usually take a very long time to build, and they're very expensive. In fact, the LA subway extension that just got completed cost $2 billion for 2.5 miles. There was a subway extension in New York that I think cost $2 billion for a mile. So clearly something needs to be done to revolutionize tunneling technology. We need to be able to build tunnels way faster and for a hell of a lot less money.
Most tunnels today are excavated by tunnel boring machines, or TBMs. Although there are various TBMs for different ground conditions and tunnel sizes, they all use the same basic mechanisms. A TBM could look something like this. A cutting wheel pushed by hydraulic cylinders breaks apart the soil and rock as it rotates and transfers the excavated muck to the back of the machine through a series of conveyor belts. After some progress, the machine is stopped and the tunnel is reinforced with concrete lining segments before excavation can resume. The majority of the machine is made up of what are called the backup systems. These include the conveyor belts and muck removal systems, control rooms, electrical systems, and the rail tracks for the transportation of the precast lining segments.
The fastest tunneling machine in the world right now is 14 times slower than a snail. Just automating the segment placement and solving the logistics issues will actually give you about a 5-fold increase in tunneling speed. The other thing that needs to happen is simultaneous drilling and tunnel reinforcing. The combination of automated segment placement and being able to drill while tunneling, like I said, is about a 5-fold increase in speed. Then with our design, we've also tripled the power of the drill. So it can drill 3 times faster. That results in a theoretical net speed increase of about 15 compared to the next best tunneling machine.
On its website, the Boring Company says that its latest generation boring machine has made progress and is now only 4 to 5 times slower than a snail. TBMs are also usually made to order for each project and can take about a year to construct. The Boring Company, on the other hand, offers only 1 diameter tunnel, meaning it does not have to alter its machine for every project. Experts also add that ensuring that all operations inside the TBM run smoothly is just as important as the speed of the boring itself.
We've modified the cutter design. The dirt removal is continuous, building the tunnel reinforcing segments on site instead of having them be built far away and trucking them in, using the dirt that we dig out of the tunnel to form the concrete for the reinforcing segments. In other tunneling situations, they actually truck the dirt from the tunnel out and truck new dirt in, which makes no sense.
Over the years, the concept of how the system would work has undergone a few different iterations. In a 2017 video, the Boring Company teased a system where cars and public transportation pods are lowered underground by metal platforms and proceed to zoom through tunnels at 124 miles per hour, unimpeded by pesky traffic. The following year, Musk showed off the company's first demo tunnel in Hawthorne, California. The 1.14-mile, $10 million tunnel was a lot less futuristic than the vision presented in 2017. During the demos, reporters were driven through the tunnels at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour, much slower than the 150 miles per hour that Musk had envisioned. The ride was also pretty bumpy as the alignment wheels attached to the Teslas bounced off the sidetrack walls. Though still rudimentary, the demo tunnel inspired confidence in investors and customers alike. Early on, the Boring Company was largely floated by Musk, but $1 million also came in from the sale of 50,000 hats, and another $10 million from the sale of 20,000 company-branded flamethrowers. Musk even tried to sell dirt excavated from the tunnel as Lego-like bricks. In 2019, the Boring Company brought its first outside investment. The $120 million funding round came shortly after the company landed its first paying customer, the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. The Las Vegas Convention Center Loop opened to the public in June. The 1.7-mile stretch of underground road cost the Convention Authority $52 million and took the Boring Company about 18 months to complete. The eventual goal is for a fleet of 62 Teslas to be able to autonomously shuttle up to 4,400 passengers an hour from across the convention center's 3 stations. Currently, the cars are still driven by humans. The Las Vegas Convention Center Loop marked the first completed public project for the Boring Company, but many of its other proposed projects have hit dead ends. If there is one thing that all these abandoned projects have proved, it's that working in the transportation sector is a tough business. A 2020 analysis found that the cost of transit tunnel projects in Europe are about 50% less than those in the US, and significantly less than costs in New York. Costs in China, India, and Southeast Asia are even cheaper, about 1/6 of the cost of US projects. The researchers attributed the large difference to higher labor costs in the US and a more convoluted environmental approval process, not so much to the cost of the tunnel excavation itself. Aside from the permitting and bureaucratic challenges, there's the question of utility. Transit advocates argue that tunnels that transport one car at a time won't solve our traffic problems. Despite the challenges, cities like Miami and Fort Lauderdale seem eager to partner with the Boring Company. Rough estimates from the Boring Company put construction costs between $10 to $15 million per mile, not including the cost of the stations. Details are still being worked out, but users of the tunnel would likely pay a fee for the service. In Las Vegas, plans are in the works to expand the Boring Company's tunnels citywide. In addition to its vehicular tunnels, on its website, the Boring Company also advertises tunnels that can be used for utilities like pipes and lighting, freight, and even pedestrian walkways. It's still too early to tell whether the Boring Company can realize the grand vision that it set out with in 2017. But one thing is for certain: if the company wants to work on game-changing public projects, it needs to get used to all the red tape.
The potential that this company may have, it has a very charismatic CEO, Elon Musk, who has shown to revolutionize both electric cars and space travel. So, it's not impossible that the Boring Company or some version of the Boring Company can work to innovate transportation, but that just has not happened quite yet.
For a limited time, you can get up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description.